Saint Martin's Dark Secret, the Priest, the Heiress, and the Betrayal that Shocked the Bayou. There's a church in Saint Martinville, Louisiana, that stood for centuries, Saint Martin-de-Tours. People say it's holy ground, a sanctuary from the troubles of the world. But even saints have secrets. And in this story, Saint Martin's walls couldn't keep out the scandal that would forever haunt the Bayou. This is a story of forbidden love, betrayal, and redemption, a cautionary tale as old as the church itself. The setting Saint Martin-de-Tours Church sits at the heart of Saint Martinville, a towering landmark with old Gothic spires, stained glass windows, and an air of mystery that drew people from all around the region. Its priest, Father Etienne Benoit, was a young, devout man who believed he'd found his life's purpose within those hallowed walls. But Father Etienne was not without temptation. The town's wealthiest family, the Duprays, had a daughter, Madeleine Dupray, who, despite her beauty and charm, carried a rebellious streak as fierce as the Louisiana storms. Madeleine was used to getting what she wanted, and that dangerous, alluring quality would be her undoing. The forbidden attraction Father Etienne had known Madeleine since they were children, before he'd chosen the church and she'd grown into the free-spirited heiress with the world at her feet. Now, as their paths crossed in the church, he found himself struggling to keep his heart from wandering. One evening after Mass, Madeleine lingered in the empty church, her gaze fixed on the flickering candles. "Father Etienne," she whispered, her voice soft as silk, "do you ever wonder if you made the right choice?" Father Etienne felt his heart race, a sensation he hadn't allowed himself in years. "Madeleine, you know I am bound to this path," he replied, though his voice trembled with doubt. But Madeleine's eyes held his, her smile daring. "Everyone deserves happiness, don't they? Even priests." A secret affair. As the weeks passed, Madeleine returned to Saint Martin-de-Tours more often, each visit more dangerous than the last. Their conversations grew longer, their exchanges more personal, and soon, what had started as words became secret embraces beneath the shadowed arches of the old church. They met in the quiet hours, just before dawn, their love hidden by the very walls that should have protected their vows. But secrets like these never stay buried. The town gossips began to whisper about Madeleine's frequent visits to the church, and some claimed to have seen the two together. One night, as Father Etienne and Madeleine shared a fleeting kiss by candlelight, they heard footsteps in the hall. Startled, they pulled apart, but it was too late. Madeleine's cousin, Jean-Paul, a devout parishioner, had seen everything. Public shame and betrayal. The news of the affair spread like wildfire, scandalizing Saint Martinville. The Dupray family, furious and humiliated, demanded that Father Etienne be removed from the church and that Madeleine leave town to preserve what remained of their reputation. Father Etienne was stripped of his title and cast out of Saint Martin-de-Tours. He had given up everything, his faith, his honor, and his future, only to be left with a broken heart and a town that saw him as a traitor. Madeleine, too, suffered her family's wrath. They forced her to marry a man from New Orleans, a match that would restore their social standing. Her spirit, once free and wild, was caged, and the love she'd fought for was now a distant, painful memory. The lesson: redemption and self-forgiveness. Years passed. Father Etienne, no longer bound to the church, found work as a schoolteacher in a nearby parish. He lived a life of solitude and reflection, haunted by regret, but determined to make amends. He spent years helping the poor, counseling those in despair, and quietly rebuilding his sense of purpose outside of Saint Martin-de-Tours. Meanwhile, Madeleine, though bound by duty to her husband and family, found ways to help those in need. She used her influence to advocate for women and children in her community, turning her pain into compassion. They learned that love is a powerful force, but when it's built on secrets and lies, it brings destruction. Father Etienne and Madeleine each found redemption, but separately on paths they never expected. They had learned painfully that sometimes the cost of desire is too high, and that truth, no matter how difficult, is the only path to lasting peace. In the end, Father Etienne and Madeleine never saw each other again, but their story became a quiet legend in Saint Martinville, a reminder of the power of choices and the weight of consequences. So here's the lesson, folks. Follow your heart, but not at the cost of your soul. Live with honesty, even when it's hard, because secrets have a way of finding the light.